Hello there, I am Dory Doyle and I am a clinical aromatherapist and a licensed spiritual health coach, and I'm also the author of What's That Smell, Mommy? And so this is a book that I wrote for my children and for children everywhere because I knew that we needed to have something that taught them the ease in which we can use natural products, specifically essential oils, but it really can be generalized to everything, and also how it's important to look at the ingredients that we're using and what that can do for our bodies. That is so important. So I want to read something for you. This excerpt is from later on in the book, as Audrey and David, the characters in this book, who are named after my children, Audrey and David. And this goes in and just talks about after they have started really exploring the use of essential oils and natural products. Here's a little bit of what they found. As the weeks went by and the family, they learned their wellness and health, over time it turned. They began to read labels because they now knew imitations were everywhere. Ingredients stayed in view. It became something important and somewhat of a game. How healthy could they feel? Would it ever be the same? No, but to know better is to do better. Of that they were sure. They couldn't go back to where they were before. Now, just like any teacher, I'm going to show you the page now so you can see the beautiful illustration done by local artist Carter Stewart. So I am going to, throughout all of this, read some excerpts from this book as it ties into what we're going to be talking about. But I got my essential oils. I started on this entire journey almost 7 years ago. And it was because my infant son had awful skin. And our pediatrician gave us a steroid cream that we could use on it. Now, this steroid cream was only supposed to be for the bad spots, but what we found is those bad spots were really all over his body. So we put it on one spot, and then that spot grew bigger. Not necessarily because of the cream, but it just was all over. And so I found that we were putting this bleaching cream all over my child's body. He was in the 3rd percentile at this point. He was little itty bitty, and just triggers went off in my head. It didn't feel right. It didn't feel like that's how it should be. And so another mom friend suggested that I look into essential oils. And I will tell you honestly, I laughed behind her back. I thought, you think a plant juice is going to do something that what the doctors are telling me to use isn't doing? No, thank you. But at the same time, I became curious and I started asking questions. And every day for 3 months, I'd ask her questions and I'd challenge her. I don't think she realized that I was. She was very sweet about it. And she didn't know all the answers. And when she didn't, she would look them up and come back and give me the answer. And about 3 months later, I decided to go ahead and try these oils for myself. She was very convinced that they were going to be helpful, and she answered a lot of questions, and the people that she worked with answered a lot of questions, so I took the jump. And what I realized is that those oils were the gateway for everything else that has happened in our lives. Finding chiropractic care, understanding how energy is important, looking at the ingredients in our water, looking at the part that food and diet and colors play in the health of our families, how the gut is also connected to the brain. And so when we're dealing with focus, it might be environmental factors, it might be what's innately in the body, but it also might be food. And so I'm really excited about what's going to be in here. Make sure that you read what interests you. You could go through and read everything and watch every video, and you're going to learn a lot. And you might be ready for all of it, and it might be too much for you. But I couldn't just say, no, we're just gonna stick to essential oils, or we're just going to stick to supplements. We're just going to stick to the other techniques that we can use. I couldn't do that because in the time that I have been using holistic topics, our family has completely changed in many ways. We've had diagnoses, we have had issues come up, we have dealt with a lot of really heavy things, and we have been able to tackle them holistically from the Crunchy Mom method. And so I say all of this because I couldn't just say, oh yeah, you know what? You probably have problems sleeping. Here is melatonin. I can't do that because melatonin's not the answer for everyone. There are other options. So I'm not gonna give you every single option, but I'm gonna give you some good ones, and I'm gonna give you ones that we have used and that my friends have used. So that's what this is about, is helping you expand your horizons and know that it's your kid. You get to be in charge. This is your child we're talking about, and their health and their wellness and their well-being is in your hands. And it doesn't have to be overwhelming. You have people that love you and will link arms with you and help you make this possible. So I'm so excited that you're here. I'm thrilled that you're going to be joining along with me. I have learned a lot in the studies that I have done and the experiences that I've had and the people that I have worked with and helped. So thank you for being here, and buckle up because there is a lot of really great stuff heading your way.